Afghanistan didn't just play good against India in the third T20. The two super overs is a far bigger statement than that. They went head to head against the best team in the format and gave them a proper scare on their home turf. One of the things that unfortunately remained unchanged is their bad luck in the heartbreak both for the teams and their fans as they face big teams. They've kind of developed that habit of making it to the last over and then somehow ending up on the losing side, despite some really good performances. Uh, One of the main reasons for this could be that Afghanistan doesn't really get that exposure of playing against the top teams. This was the first ever white ball series against India. They had never faced in a bilateral series before. They just played Pakistan a couple of months ago last year. Um, and they haven't even played against teams like England, Australia, South Africa, and New Zealand. They are yet to face in a bilateral series. So this is something that kind of holds them back from gaining that higher pressure games exposure and experience, which can be really vital in this sort of games. The other extraordinary element in the third T20 was umpiring. They made some really bizarre decisions, starting from Rohit Sharma's leg byes to reversing Rinku Singh's caught-out decision, allowing overthrow runs off Mohammad Nabi's body, and then allowing Rohit Sharma to come back and bat in the second super over when he walked off the pitch in the first super over. Under point 22 of Appendix F of the playing conditions, a player should only be allowed if he was earlier retired hurt or due to an illness or any other unavoidable cause. But that wasn't the case in Rohit Sharma's case. He wasn't ill nor injured, um, but he was allowed to bat in the second super over. So that was a bit unusual. Uh, Even in Rinku Singh's case, you could clearly see with the naked eye that there was a gap between the bat and ball, but he was called back to bat. Um, they also didn't give an obvious no ball to India, and these are the sort of decisions that kind of adds up to the end result, and shouldn't be acceptable at this level. But full credit to India, they were quite clear with their intent, and it eventually paid off. This being the last T20 series for India ahead of the T20 World Cup, the Indian batters too had a point to prove to the selectors, hence their aggressive approach throughout the series. Most of those players were fearless in their approach, and they were hungry for this opportunity, and they actually got good use of it. So overall, the third T20 was probably the best T20, at least that I've watched. Um, Afghanistan ended the series with a thriller, and I'm sure they'll take a lot of positives from this. They will certainly be a completely different and improved unit in the upcoming games against Sri Lanka and Ireland. And I really hope that we get to see more of such games. Afghanistan getting that opportunity to play against the top nations and top teams. And that's probably the only way that they can improve further. They've reached a stage where they need those games, and if not, unfortunately, it'll only be a decline for them. I hope not. I hope we don't get to that stage, and the ICC and other relevant bodies realizes that. So yeah, that was it from me, and thank you for watching.